What's going on, Metagang? It's Red. Today we are coming at you with a Ghostrick deck profile. I will say this, my main deck is something I'm pretty well content on right now, but the extra deck I'm missing bits and pieces. So I just grabbed like some hodgepodge cards and just slapped them in. So starting out with the main deck, we got 3 Ghostrick Skeleton. So whenever you play Ghostricks, you cannot just straight out normal summon them, you have to play them face down. And then if you have a face up Ghostrick, you can normal summon any of your Ghostrick monsters. But some of them have special flip effects whenever they get like flipped face up. Skeleton is going to be banishing cards from the top of your opponent's graveyard, from the top of your opponent's deck face down for every Ghostrick you control. So personally, again, favor 1 because who doesn't like to deck their opponent out. We got 3 Ghostrick Spectre. Ghostrick Spectre is more or less somewhat kind of a hand trap for the deck. So whenever a Ghostrick monster is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand face down, and then you draw a card. So not only do you get extra body, but you get an extra +1 too to replace them. We play 2 Yuki-Onna. Yuki-Onna's pretty good. So for this, on a particular build, not only am I trying to mill my opponent out, I'm also trying to lock them out of flip summoning their monsters face up, and Yuki-Onna pretty much helps out with that. Upon her destruction, battle and sent to the graveyard, you can change that monster who destroyed it to face down defense, and it can no longer change its battle position. 2 Ghostrick Mummy. Ghostrick Mummy is pretty much in there for the ability of the additional normal summon upon it being flipped face up. 2 Ghostrick Stein. Ghostrick Stein is your spell trap card searcher, so you can get your field cards or you can get your trap cards to enter up and screw around with your opponent some more. Gian Gish, or whatever the hell his name is, I can never pronounce him correctly. So he is actually your searcher for the deck. So for however many you control, when he is flipped face up, counting himself, he will get you any Ghostrick monster whose level is equal to or lower than the amount you control. 2 Ghostrick Lantern. Ghostrick Lantern is another one of the hand traps for the deck. So whenever your opponent declares an attack, or when a Ghostrick monster you control is targeted for an attack, well, a direct attack, or when one you control is targeted for an attack, my bad. You can negate the attack and then special summon this card from your hand in defense. So you have a 1 card negate attack, pretty much. Another searcher for the deck is Ghostrick Mary. So after you take damage, you would discard this card to the graveyard, and then you add... Oh no, you don't add, you special summon. My bad. Yeah, Ghostrick Mary is the one where you take damage, you discard, and then special summon 1 from your deck. So it gets you an extra body, which isn't bad. And then for the 1-ofs, we play Ghostrick Fairy. Just so that way I can change face up cards my opponent controls to face down up to the number of set cards you control. So that also counts for your face down spells and traps as well, guys. 1 Ghostrick Witch. I mean, who doesn't like to have a Book of Moon? 1 Ghostrick Yeti. Yeti's one that I've personally considered on taking out, but the only reason why he still makes the cut in at 1 is because whenever he's flipped, you can target a Ghostrick monster on the field for the rest of the turn. It can be destroyed by battle or by card effects. And if I had more, I'd play more, but I only have the one Jack Frost. Jack Frost is another one of the hand traps for the deck. So whenever your opponent monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon this card from your hand and then flip that monster face down. Going into the spells, we got 2 Ghostrick Parade. So the Ghostrick spells is what really keeps the Ghostrick strategy alive, honestly. So as long as you have face down defense position monsters, your opponent has to attack you directly. And that goes for all of the Ghostrick spells, about all the Ghostrick field spells. But each different field spell has its own different effect. So with this one, when my opponent declares an attack, I'm going to add any Ghostrick card from my deck to my hand. So I'm just searching, I'm going to grab any of my monsters. I can grab another one of my field spells if I wanted to, or I can go straight into my traps and start digging out my plays for interruption. 1 Ghostrick Mansion, just like if my opponent's playing somewhat of a combo heavy board or a faster paced deck than what I'm playing and I need a couple turns to set up. Really good defense card because any damage you would take is halved. But if you attack with Ghostrick monster, they take the full damage. Oops. And then the 1 Terraforming because you're mainly wanting to get your Parade, but in the event that you see the Terraforming or one of your search cards, you're going to want to get the Mansion. And then I play 2 Duality. You're not going to really be doing a lot of special summoning with the deck, honestly. So, I mean, you might as well just dig around and grab pieces that you're wanting. For the traps, we play 3 Ghostrick Scare. Pretty much another Book of Moon, honestly. Targeting any number of face down defense position monsters you control, changing them to face up defense. And then you flip your opponent's monsters into face down defense. And again, since we're talking about a lockdown build, I want to throw in a honorable mention for Ghostrick Knight. While you control face of Ghostrick monster, your opponent cannot flip summon. When this card in your possession is destroyed by opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, your opponent cannot declare attacks for the rest of this turn. So, I mean, you've got a Wabaku and a no-no on flip summoning. As soon as you flip your opponent's stuff down. 2 Ghostrick Vanish, just protection for your face down spell and your face down monsters and your just your Ghostrick cards and face down defense position monsters. So if you got your continuous traps up, guess what? They're protected. You got your field card up, it's protected. You got your Ghostrick monsters face down, it's protected. A more fun card to play at 3, but I think 2 is kind of right now for it. So during the battle phase with this card, you can either target a Ghostrick monster that's in attack mode and flip it face down, or you can target a face down monster, flip it face up into defense. Oh, I lied. The flip up, the ability to go up to down doesn't have to be in attack, it can be in defense. But yeah, you're just going to keep on flipping stuff around on your opponent's turn, having some fun. And since, the deck is pretty much level 3 and lower, so we play the 1 Gravity Bind just because we're funny like that, and we don't want our opponents really doing anything. 1 copy of World Legacy Pawns. Pretty much you're just playing 2 Ghostrick Go rounds. 1 you can activate before battle phase, 1 you can activate in battle phase. And then the 1 copy of free range monsters. Sometimes it's nice to get that 1 extra body out there with the deck. So I feel like free range monster is going to be a nice option just to screw around with your opponent more to be able to flip more cards on their field face down. And then for this horrid extra deck I deeply apologize for, we got $2 hand. So gains 200 attack for each Ghostrick card I control. Okay. Once per turn during either player's turn, so it's a quick effect. You can detach one material from this card, target one face-up monster on the field, halve its attack until the end of the turn. This card is sent to the graveyard. You can target one other Ghostrick card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So you pretty much have a Arc Rebellion without the attack gain, in a sense. I mean, not Arc Rebellion, but a Dark Rebellion. And then you have a reinforcement of the army for Ghostricks after this card is sent to the graveyard. One Succubus. So, while I control another Ghostrick monster, my opponent cannot target this card for attacks. I can detach one material from this card and target one face-up monster on the field with attack less than or equal to the combined attack of all Ghostrick monsters on my field, and then destroy it. Plus, that main monster zone cannot be used as long as I control Ghostrick monster. So you're blowing stuff up from your opponent's side of the field, and then whatever monster zone it got blown up from, that zone gets blocked out. 2 Alucard. Alucard's pretty much there to just protect your face-up Ghostrick monsters and your face-down defense position monsters from attacks. And then you can detach a material, target a set card on your opponent's side of the field, and then destroy that target. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you get to add one Ghostrick card in your graveyard to your hand. And then for the rest of the stuff that I am not fond of, we got one Relinquished Anima. Now this I actually do like running because you have a bunch of level 1s that can special summon themselves out depending what's going on. Or if you got one of those weird hands and you're stuck going second, you can just make a turn 1 Anima. Possibly. I don't know. 2 Wee Witch. I actually see Wee Witch being a good utility option within the deck. Maybe not a 2, but at a possible 1. Just being able to get that one extra dark monster back from grave, you can get your like little hand trap dudes to keep screwing around. 1 B-Cop, you know, the deck's dark, so I figured, hey, B-Cop would be a good option because you could tribute a monster, target one face-up card on the field, place 1 patrol counter on it, and then if a card with a patrol counter would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, I can remove it instead. So I can either protect this or my other face-up cards on field. 1 IP Masquerena because we don't want to chill on just a beat cop after we go into beat cop, guys. Like, that's just, no. Why would you play Yu-Gi-Oh at that point? But, yeah. Usually helps you get into your Link 3 to 4s, but Nightmare Phoenix, because this deck kinda hates back row. Depending on the back row, we hate Floodgates the most. That's what we hate. Nightmare Phoenix is there to help with that. Nightmare Unicorn is there as well, and to give us extra draw if co-linked with Phoenix on our draw phase. Saryuja, because sometimes your hands can be weird and, well, they need to reset. Plus, it also lets you summon out a Ghostrick from your hand for free, which at that point you can then normal summon one and keep going. 1 Avermax, because, you know, it's a nice little pair up with the IP Masquerena, cheap, easy to make, and very strong monster. And then the Boral Sword for if you want to be fancy with it and attempt to push with an OTK for this deck. Well, that was the deck. That was the deck profile, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, notification bell for whenever we post more of this stuff, guys. Leave a comment down below of what you guys think, and as usual, we'll catch you in the next one. That shit sharp,
like Yu-Gi-Oh! Looking up on at you. Like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Like and subscribe to Metagame. Hit the bell icon.